Lunar New Year returns and brings normalcy back to the Disneyland calendar. We have a guide to all the locations and limited edition treats. NFL and ESPN are calling Disneyland home for Super Bowl week coverage. February belongs to Magic Key holders, construction updates and refurbishment dates, and secret merchandise at Galaxy's Edge. It's your weekly Disneyland update. Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. This week's update, we're going to look at all the decorations and locations for the 2022 celebration of the Lunar New Year at Disneyland. Let's get ready to find everything we can about the Year of the Tiger. It starts today. Starting today, citizens of Disneyland can ring in the Year of the Tiger during the Lunar New Year celebration at Disney California Adventure Park at the Disneyland Resort. This is a limited time event which runs starting today through February 13th. It's a tribute to Chinese, Vietnamese, and Korean cultures with, of course, a touch of Disney magic, featuring Asian-inspired food and drinks, vibrant decor, keepsake merchandise, and this year, a lot more exciting entertainment. Even though there are various celebrations around downtown Disney and a couple of food items over in Disneyland, primarily this event exists inside of Disney's California Adventure, taking place at the edge of Pacific Wharf when you walk through this gate. And then you can work your way along the festival corridor, and it ends at the far end of Paradise Gardens. Essentially, when you walk through these two gates, you're inside of the festival's footprint. There are select locations around DCA that are also celebrating, like Lamplight Lounge, Lucky Fortune Cookery, and the Studio Catering Truck, because any excuse to try to get people to go into the Hollywood backlot is a good excuse. But the event's main eating locations all rest along the festival corridor: the Longevity Noodle Company, the Lucky 8 Lantern, the Prosperity Bao and Buns, and Red Dragon Spice Traders. I have presented for you on the screen all of the different items that are available at these carts. Feel free to pause and figure out which items look best for you, and leave a comment below. What would you like for me to try out next week? When we show up to do update next week, the event will be live, and I'll be covering it and bringing you some of the daytime activities and entertainment offerings, as well as a couple of select food items. And coming up later in today's video, I review some of the merchandise that caught my eye. Today's video, as always, is divided up into chapters, so by all means, skip ahead to the parts that interest you the most, and the parts of today's video that will give you the information you need to make the most of your next trip out to the Disneyland Resort to celebrate Lunar New Year 2022. If you are coming out to eat, the best way to make that affordable is the 2022 Lunar New Year Sip and Savor Pass. Now, they have not presented the official price anywhere online, but by going by the cost, the last time they did this, it was $56 for folks that aren't back then annual pass holders, today Magic Key holders, $51 if you are in the Magic Key program. The Sip and Savor Pass, which consists of a commemorative credential and 6 coupons, is redeemable for food and beverage offerings, excluding alcohol, at the Lunar New Year Marketplace kiosk and dining locations. If you buy that, you can't just go use it over at Pacific Wharf or in Cars Land. You have to use it for the Lunar New Year Marketplace kiosk and dining locations. And it does exclude alcohol, so make your decision on, are you really going to eat 6 items, or can you go in with a bud or a family member and make it financially work for you? Most of the food offerings cost around $12 or $14, If you take part in Sip and Savor, you can get each item down to $9 or $8, depending if you're a Magic Key holder or not. This year, Disney has offered up a lot more entertainment for the festival. New this year is Mulan's Lunar New Year procession. It introduces a gorgeous new float that Mulan and Mushu arrive upon, accompanied by traditional Chinese drummers with powerful rhythms and performers bringing cultural artistry and dance to life along the performance corridor. Make sure to show up next week when we'll have that in our weekly update for you to be able to check out. And did you know that the colors red and gold symbolize good fortune and happiness? The float features bright bunches of red firecrackers with golden tassels and delicate red and gold lanterns that come aglow after the sunset performances. And if you look all around the festival, you'll see so many beautiful red and gold lanterns and decorations really bringing this area to life. Over in the Paradise Garden Bandstand, there will be daily live performances featuring enchanting traditional music instruments along with Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese folk dancers. The San Francisco-based musical group Melody of China performs a fusion of Chinese folk, classical, and contemporary instrumentals. I saw the band that they had a couple years ago. It was really entertaining and fun to see that style of music performed live. And someone new showing up this year is Raya from Walt Disney Animation Studios' film Raya and the Last Dragon makes her official debut at the Disneyland Resort during Lunar New Year celebration under a forest canopy deep in the heart of the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. You may encounter the heroic Raya greeting new friends. It's fun to see the event spread over into the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, and it's always fun to see heroes inside of Disneyland where different types of young children can see themselves reflected in the hero's image. So excited to see how this meet and greet turns out. And I'm always excited to see this part of the park get transformed into something different. Like Villains Grove, anybody? Villains Grove? Going once, going twice? And outside of DCA, there are some celebrations taking place around downtown Disney. And one that really caught my eye is the new store Love Pop. Love Pop has become such a great addition to downtown Disney and the Disneyland Resort. It offers 2 different pop-up greeting card designs, a cherry blossom tree, and an elegant red lantern. To celebrate Lunar New Year, Love Pop is a must-stop when you're strolling up and down downtown Disney. They have a really fun and interactive store. It would be fun for adults to go in there and look at all the designs, but taking your kids in there, they'll be amazed by the artistry and the magic of these cards as well. Lunar New Year kicks off today and it will run till February 13th, aka Super Bowl Sunday. An update will be at Lunar New Year next week. Make sure to let me know below if there's any foods you'd like for me to try out, and we'll have some of the entertainment footage for you to see as well, so that you can better make the call, is this an event that's going to bring you back home to Disneyland and DCA? We had a couple of upcoming events announced this week. First off, for folks such as myself that love both Disneyland and football, are you ready for some football at the Disneyland Resort? ESPN touches down for a week at the Disneyland Resort for Super Bowl 56. They'll be broadcasting live from Disney's California Adventure beginning February 9th through Super Bowl Sunday on February 13th. There you can see them film various episodes of SportsCenter, NFL Matchup, and postseason NFL Countdown. So even if you're not watching live at California Adventure, you'll be able to watch it from home when you're getting ready for the big game. And in downtown Disney, they will offer an experience Thursday, February 10th through Sunday, February 13th. Downtown Disney will be the home for a fan experience located outdoors between Tortilla Joe's and Splitsville Luxury Lanes. This kicks off Thursday, February 10th through Sunday, February 13th, 1 to 7 p.m. daily, with games and giveaways. And an interesting spot about this little plot of land, if we look at the satellite, you can see there's a little extra chunk of downtown Disney that Disney is holding on to for some sort of future expansion or operation. At some moment, this little alleyway could lead to an entertainment space. And when we look at our construction update today, marketing events like this one illustrate the need for the new entertainment space coming to the western end of downtown Disney. Disney announced that February will be the Magic Key Holder Appreciation Month, and here are the details on what Disney has planned as far as giveaways go. Disneyland and Disney California Adventure will offer a magic shot exclusive to Magic Key holders. The Peter Pan shadow photo will be available by Sleeping Beauty's castle. And Steamboat Willie at the entrance to DCA. Magic Key branded sunglasses will be distributed in Disney's California Adventure on the Performance Corridor near Cars Land across from the Blue Sky Cellar. And key holders will also be able to collect complimentary art prints. There are 2 designs planned to be distributed inside of the parks. First one will be the mountains of the Disneyland Resort. That'll be available February 1st through 15th. And then the second half of the month, it will be Disneyland Resort's famous modes of transportation from February 16th to the 28th. And in downtown Disney, a blueprint of the Avengers campus will be available, as well as a special attractions poster. These will be available at World of Disney and Wonderground Gallery. And various locations around downtown Disney will also have limited edition treats only available to Magic Key holders. We will have more for you as this develops, and Update will be visiting Disneyland all throughout the month of February, so we'll make sure we show you all of these locations and what the merchandise looks like. Can't wait for my new set of shades. Now that the honeymoon is worn off, you either really love Batuu or you really can't stand it. I happen to be in the group of people that really love Batuu. I see the entire thing as one big theme park experiment, heavy on the word theme. Here's everything new that I could find in Batuu this week. Retail supply issues are taking place all over Earth and as well on Batuu. Doc Ondor has some retail problems himself, but they're very thematic of the world that we live in. You can see we are dangerously low on Jedi holocrons. Although don't worry, as with all things in the 2020s, there's still plenty of evil, and Sith ones are largely available. Over at Sock's Kettle, chocolate popcorn with red crate salt and the strawberry banana mix has returned. I believe that these were the original flavors on opening day. One tastes like Fruity Pebbles, the other tastes like Cocoa Pebbles. Bet you can't guess which is which. It does seem that the banana flavor that was dropped this summer is gone, and it's a shame because that one was by far my favorite. But the Fruity Pebbles are pretty good too. More food to come later in this week's update. But the best thing to pop up this week on the In-N-Out secret menu, Creature Stall secret menu. Sorry, I always get my animal styles confused. Rancor and Lothcat lightsaber hilt caps have appeared, but they haven't appeared on the shelves. You will have to go and ask the sales clerk if they are in stock, and if they are, you will be presented with your hilt. Created to appear like they're made out of wood carvings, and I have to say it's pretty convincing. The bottom screws off to attach to your saber or to store some secret cargo. This is the type of smart merchandise that I love to see at Galaxy's Edge. Having secret items that you have to ask for is fun, and after all, retail, shopping, spending money, it should be fun, especially when it's being done inside of a theme park that is very themed around the concept and ideology of Star Wars. I really like this little interactive bit of having to seek out this particular item, and why it's so criticized by those that lack imagination and want instant nostalgia gratification. The secret factor of having to ask for it only plays into why Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is so amazing to me. More of this, Disney. More of this. These are the merchandise items I'm looking for. Time for our weekly construction update. We have 3 major projects we are currently tracking, 2 that are just getting started, making 2022 a very exciting year for Disney construction fans such as myself. The DVC Tower, the 4th tower that will exist at the Disneyland Hotel, hasn't shown much progress this week, still in the excavation process, just moving that dirt around. But the Downtown Disney West End construction project had a couple of new updates. We can see a large staging area has popped up from last week. When we were here last week, this was just wide open parking lot. And now we have this staging area that has been fenced off. And I'm so curious, how far out does this expansion go? My mind is telling me that it's going to stop at the edge of the movie theater, but my heart wants it to eat this entire parking lot up and finally connect the Paradise Pier Hotel to the rest of downtown Disney and therefore the rest of the Disneyland Resort. I can't wait to see what this looks like next week. This area through here, I expect it's going to start buzzing any day now. Sugar Boo is packing it up and heading into Yesterland. Somehow the Starbucks opened back up so that it could close forever in the next couple of weeks. Very curious, goes to show that it was probably another one of those staffing shortages. And the monorail is running until February 14th, which I have just now, I think, figured out why. The date got expanded, right? We were supposed to lose the monorail any day now. Then this week we saw that a deal was struck where the NFL and ESPN announced they would be coming down to downtown Disney. And yeah, now the monorail can keep going till the 14th, the day after the Super Bowl and the day after Lunar New Year wraps up. So a little bit more monorailing for everybody. And the tram path project looks like it's wrapping up. All of those cutouts on the loading and unloading stops are now paved over and smooth. They had plastic over it, just trying to let it kind of heal itself and not let any of the weather affect the recent pavement job. Last week, I gave a wild theory on this project. Could it be creating a quick charge station for a possible electric fleet of trams that come in the future? Check out last week's update for more details. But seeing that these holes have been patched up and repaved makes me feel pretty ambitious that we could see trams coming back in the next couple of months, maybe in February. That would be amazing. And then over in Toontown, we've seen they've removed some of the heavy equipment that we saw back here last week. Soon we will be locked out of Toontown. That's going to happen in March. And when that does happen, I will give you a nice collection of progress shots showing how much work has actually been done since we first got in the park on Monday, May 26. Since the Thanos snap. I will take all of that footage and stitch it together just so we can see how much has been done since last May. That's your weekly construction update. I call this moment right now the quiet before the storm because we're getting ready to have a couple of big projects that are going to be popping. And here are all the various projects that we are tracking that are not considered to be major construction projects. We did see these walls go up around the shipping office. This little building sits on the edge of Frontierland across from Big Thunder Mountain and next to where you get onto the Mark Twain. It is one of the best little sitting areas to kind of be by yourself to get away from the crowds. I'm assuming this construction wall that's around this building and ones that had popped up over New Orleans Square that are already down mean phantasmic things are getting ready to happen. Going over to Grizzly Peak, are you noticing what I'm noticing? There seems to be a certain family that had rolled into town on vacation that has rolled away, and they've only left their tire tracks behind. I would assure you that this is probably just a beautification project, doing a little bit of maintenance to the old car before the family cruises back into town. It is one of the staples of design and storytelling in this area. But while the car is missing, if you happen to be a DCA, take a gander in this map here. You'll find some things that I think you'll be impressed with. And then over at the Fantasyland Theater, still no activity here. We have announced that this will not be one dedicated show, but a collection of different entertainment offerings. Lion King, the gospel celebration that's getting ready to happen. So we'll be keeping our eyes on the Fantasyland Theater to see some movement. But right now, I think they're just taking apart the stage. Moving over to Fantasyland, Toad's Chimney project. I'm not really seeing anything behind the scrims. I'm just assuming that somebody noticed that something was unsafe, and this is just sort of a placeholder to make sure nothing bad happens, that nothing falls down on a guest, and maybe we'll see a larger project take off in the near future. And the project to never make fun of, Marilyn from Sword in the Stone. This is a very sacred project. I will never, ever make fun of magic in Fantasyland again. So therefore, I got nothing to say about this because nothing's happening. And the project that never seems to end. Yeah, there used to be a treehouse here. Now there's just some tarps. And it's been that way for a long time and nobody knows what's happening. And moving over to World of Color, it's a shame that this isn't operating because when ESPN is doing Super Bowl coverage right there, it would be so nice to have some sort of water show going off behind them. I mean, not full on World of Color, but just flex some of the fountains. But yeah, the fountains are all up above the water level. The table there, as they call it, is up above water level, probably doing some testing. We have Lunar New Year that's happening over here. We have ESPN coming to town. So this area is going to be a hotbed of activity. We'll be curious to see if they do any major construction. And are they going to leave the plywood up while ESPN's here and they're using this as a backdrop for national TV? Still no projectors installed on those pedestals that we watch them build week after week. So this project's definitely at an interesting influx. It's going to be interesting to see if they do anything with all the attention this area is going to be getting in the next weeks. Not a ton of news in this week's Refurbishments, where we track all of your favorite Disneyland attractions over New Orleans Square. As of today, the Haunted Mansion should be reopening, having its holiday overlay removed from it. It'll be regular haunting from now till the end of August, but don't worry, it'll all go back to the way that it was in September. And one of you made a great comment about, well, maybe the reason why they have to do the overlay for Halloween and Christmas is that shutting it down after Halloween would mean 10 days of having the Haunted Mansion closed during the holiday season, which is something Disneyland doesn't want to do. And I think, yes, you've absolutely figured out why it runs from September to January because of that reason right there. Splash Mountain over in Critter Country is getting its annual refurb. This is not the big Princess and the Frog one we've been told about. You know what, son? I'm just going to put you right in that lamp. Perfection. Photography perfection. It's just getting its annual refurbishment. All the major water rides have to go down because water creates damage, because the earth hates us and is trying to kill us. Just ask anybody that's ever bought expensive patio furniture. You'll realize how much the earth is trying to destroy everything that it can, but it makes such a quiet spot in the park when you don't hear the yells of people going down that massive drop. Moving over to It's a Small World, Sunday will be the last day to see the holiday edition of It's a Small World Holiday. It will be getting its refurbishment and going back into standard Small World. Hopefully that will be really quick if they get the water thing all kind of figured out. And now I'm stuck here. I can never look away once I see the train threading the needle through the facade of It's a Small World. One of my absolute favorite details in all of the park is just when that train comes by, that level of Disneyland storytelling, I'm stuck here. I couldn't move if I wanted to because I just absolutely love the way that those two attractions live in some sort of beautiful Disneyland harmony. So yeah, the old Christmas hat's coming off as of Sunday. And soon Grizzly Peak will be going down for its annual refurbishment. Nothing big or out of the ordinary, just another water attraction that has to get its maintenance. I do assume though they'll have this back up and running for the big spring break crowds because it's such a pleaser that time of the year. And then over on the Rivers of America, we have a lot of activity that's happening. Let's start with the Mark Twain. Mark Twain will be going down in February. We will see some stuff happening at the Tom Sawyer Island like we already do with all the Fantasmic items out there in the water. And then Sailing Ship Columbia is going to have some maintenance done as well. All of this is regards to getting Fantasmic online. And then the Emotional Whirlwind will be going down in February as well. All right, here is my food review without eating on camera. I went over to this little shady area of New Orleans Square. I don't like that clientele at all. But I got these bacon cheddar jalapeno fritters that were served with a delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Now, I'm going to have to tell you right now, you can tell by the presentation these had set for a while. They were hard, and you can see that the cardboard has soaked up a lot of the grease. They were pretty lacking in flavor. If it was a lot of jalapeno, I could handle it. I love hot food. I didn't really get any hints of the jalapeno. I also didn't taste the bacon, and it also didn't taste like a good hush puppy. It just kind of tasted like a vehicle to get a ball of batter to my mouth with some delicious warm cheese on it. Without the cheese, hush puppy guy, you are nothing. I would definitely tell you that this is an item that I think that you should skip, but just don't tell this guy that you heard that advice from me. Moving over to Frontierland to Rancho del Zolaco, nailed it, always do. The horchata cold brew is something to get. You get horchata with cold brew poured into it. The Disneyland Resort's cold brew can be pretty strong, and I'm a hardcore coffee guy, but the horchata really blends it out. Definitely does make it a tad bit too sweet. I would normally not get the whipped cream on there as well as the cinnamon because it was very not beard friendly at all. Every sip I had to do a beard wipe. So if you don't have a beard, then you're in a good shape. But for me, I do have a beard, so I look like a Santa Claus sitting in Frontierland there for a while. But this is really good. It does err to the side of being pretty sweet. So if you're a real dark coffee drinker, you're maybe not going to like this. But if you like coffee and you like some sweetness, cheers to you, Rancho del Zocalo. Totally nailed it again. And then there's these limited flavors over at Sprinkles. I didn't taste any of these, but it's a Pop-Tart cupcake. Now let's look at some of the merchandise from the Lunar New Year celebration. Now I'm rough when it comes to merchandise because I designed merchandise for 2 decades. I love this little Donald statue. I think that this is fun and I enjoy it. In $19.99, it's a fair price for this type of keepsake item. But this t-shirt, the cat illustration is so good and they broke it every time they use it. I mean, that t-shirt's designed for somebody. That somebody just isn't me. This Mickey t-shirt, why does Mickey have a gold stroke around him, but the cat doesn't? I'm Tiger. And now the Spirit jersey, can't have a holiday without a Spirit jersey. This item is definitely not for me, but I do think it's a nice item. I like that back hit. I like the pattern that goes around it. And if I were designing stuff for this, and I'm not, I would just make a short sleeve t-shirt with just that on it. That's all you need. Everything doesn't have to be covered. But my item from the booth was I absolutely love these ears. There's a lot going on. They're a little bit complex, but at least they have Pete's dragon on there. Gotcha. But no, I do love the dragon that's on there, the different color bows and the paper fan, the print on the ears. Like, these are a solid item. I like them a lot. Very special shout out to my friends over at club1313.com for making today's video possible. If you want to become a part of an amazing Disneyland community, sign up today. I'm not only a member, I'm the president. And our Discord is always popping when the Disneyland news headlines are dropping. Friends, thank you so much for taking this week's lap around the entire Disneyland Resort, finding everything new that has happened over the last week. I'll be back next week to do it again. And next week, we'll go into the Lunar New Year and get more details for you so you can make the most out to your trip to Lunar New Year, as well as get you more information on the NFL coming to the Disneyland Resort and February being declared Magic Key Month. So much more information coming, and keep watching these videos because I'm going to do my best to bring you all the information each and every week with updates so you know how to make the most of your next trip to the Disneyland Resort. Hey friends, if you're having a hard decision figuring out if Lightning Lane and Genie Plus is right for your next visit out to the park, I'd encourage you to watch this video right here where me and my friend Dylan from Theme Park Obsession did the ultimate test on Lightning Lane and Genie Plus, proving to you, is it worth it for you and your family and the money that you would spend. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Enjoy this one next.